So April is Financial Literacy Month, and we have a very special guest that's going to be coming in all month to talk to us about financial literacy. So today we have Matthew Gunter. He is a managing associate at Financial Growth Partners, and thank you so much for coming in and educating us. Really appreciate that. So, I mean, financial literacy, that's a broad topic. You can go.
It's very broad.
You can go anywhere with it, but
Right.
Where does somebody start? Like, okay, I'm a 20-some-year-old, right?
Yep.
We're going to go with that. And, I have no idea what to do.
Yeah. The first thing really is just to start by getting organized, just to understand where's my money going, how much is going out, how much is coming in, and then how much am I able to save.
Okay.
That is really baseline of where you can start to build your plan. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about putting money in your bank account, if you're talking about saving to purchase a home, put it towards your retirement strategy, whatever that may be, you need simply cash flow to fund that strategy.
Sure.
So it all starts with understanding, okay, how much money is coming in, what am I spending it on, and then what's left over, and then actually being able to capture what's left over at the end of every month and put it somewhere safe and building that habit.
So what's the best way for people to figure that out?
So one is to just simply create a plan around capturing that money, right?
It's like a budget.
It's like a budget, right?
Okay.
So, of course, right? So first thing to do is just start a budget, write down your expenses, incomes, and just see what you have left over at the end of every month. And in the description, we'll provide a cash flow spreadsheet so you can look at it and possibly use it if you'd like.
But be honest with yourself. Like, that's
Yeah.
what I always tell my clients when they're doing their budgets to save money for a house. If you go to Starbucks every day and spend $10 on a coffee, put it in there, because
Right.
now we at least know where the money's going. So if you can afford to do that, great.
Right.
And if you can't, then now there's an area that maybe we can cut.
Right. And that's usually the biggest expenditures that people don't realize is eating out. That's a big one. There's so many subscription services out there now, is that many people will apply to a subscription service and then forget that they have it, and they're spending $10, $15, $20 a month on it.
Gym memberships,
Gym
right?
memberships that they haven't used in like 5 years. But so just understanding where's my money going in a simple form of a budget. So that's the very first thing, and it may sound basic, but that's creating the habit and understanding how money is moving is really the hardest part of all this stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about, I know you have a wonderful chart that we can go through that
Yeah.
explains stuff to us.
Yeah. So if you're looking at this chart, what you can see is, you get paid, and where does that money go?
Checking account.
Right. So it goes into a checking account. And is a checking account a spending account, or is that a savings account?
Well, for most people, it's a spending account.
Right. So you're going to spend money. The money's going to flow in. You're going to spend it on bills. And then from there, you like to enjoy yourself. You like to have some sort of lifestyle, go on vacations. So you're also going to spend the money on that. And then what ends up happening for the most part is whatever's left over, they end up capturing that money and saving that money. The problem is that it's not repeatable, because every month there might be a new expenditure, or maybe they say, hey, I have a few extra dollars. I want to go buy a new Xbox, or they just realize that it's there, and they go, oh, well, I can spend this. And that's true, but then you don't have any more money to save.
That absolutely makes sense.
So what we recommend is simply saving first. Is as soon as that money hits your account, is taking it and setting it aside into a savings account. By doing that, you actually give yourself permission to spend the other dollars for the rest of the month, because you've already saved. So when you go out to dinner with family, when you buy that extra toy for your kids, you're not feeling too bad, like, oh, I should have saved my money, because you've already done that. So this gives you permission to do that. And there's many different ways you can do this. Sometimes your payroll company has the ability to put in multiple bank accounts. One can be a checking account, one can be a savings account. And you can dictate how much of your pay out of 100%, you can say, hey, 20% go over here. And this is why most company retirement plans work so well, is because people set it and forget it.
You're paying yourself first.
You're paying yourself first.
Yeah.
And you're setting money aside, and then you realize you really didn't need it, right? The goal of all this is to set up a repeatable plan. Me personally, I'm pretty simple. I have alarms on my phone that go off on the 15th and the 30th that says, hey, move money. And that's just the way I am. And so I'll literally go in my banking app and just move money from a checking account to a savings account. And that's how I do it. So whatever works best for you, I would recommend that's what you do, and just kind of stick with it.
I really like this, and it's simple.
Yep.
And it's something they can easily repeat, and it's something that you can implement easily. This is not something that you need a degree to do. Like, you can easily save the money.
Right.
And then you can use that money down the road for paying off debt, saving for a car, saving for a house.
Yep.
Whatever you need to do.
Yeah. So really, because at some point you're going to put enough money in your bank account where you say, this is too much money in my bank account. I don't want to put any more money in my bank account. You know, do I want to leverage real estate? Do I want to put it into a portfolio? Retirement strategy. What does that mean? Or it could be multiple things, but this is where you start, because once you have this habit, from there on moving forward, you're just simply filling up buckets of money and diversifying it into multiple places.
That's great. And if you have questions on this, I know Matt would be great or helpful to answer a question on the phone. You can meet with him to come up with a plan that works for you, because everybody's plan is going to be different and tailored to them.
Right. Everyone's different. It could be someone that wants to build a plan to save more money in their bank account. Simply, I have other clients that they're like, hey, listen, I'm already saving money in a bank account. What's the next step? It's going to be different and tailored to each person. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out.
And make sure you download, what'd you call it, the cash flow worksheet?
Yep.
That Matt is generously providing for us. So thank you for that.
No problem.
So thanks for watching week 1 of our financial literacy education series. Make sure you tune in next week, because we're going to talk about how to pay off debt. That's something that pretty much every American has these days.
Yep.
So we want to figure out how we can get out of that cycle and save more.
Sure.
So thank you for coming in, Matt. And I'm Rebecca Foote from the Rebecca Foote Mortgage Team, and thanks for tuning in.